Hi, this is Dan Cortopassi of TSG Multimedia. Today I'm reviewing an HO scale 4180 cubic foot Airslide covered hopper from Scale Trains. This model is part of the Scale Trains Operator series. My example is decorated for the Santa Fe and represents a GA 177 class car. These cars were built in 1972, and my car has a date stencil of April 1972. Some of these cars lasted into the 2000s in this paint scheme. This model has an MSRP of $22.99. The paint on the model is not quite opaque. We'll take a look at that later when we look at the ends, as the problem is more visible there. The markings are crisp and all of the small writing is legible with magnification. The car has delicate stirrup steps at the corners. The discharge gate plumbing is excellent. There are holes drilled for grab irons, but no grab irons installed. I like the fact that Scale Trains didn't resort to using molded-on grabs in their lower-cost line, but having holes makes the car look very incomplete. Adding some aftermarket grab irons is not difficult. The ends of the car also have pre-drilled grab iron holes. The end platforms are solid plastic. There are no uncoupling levers or air hoses. On the ends, the poor paint coverage is very apparent around the ribs. The darker areas aren't shadows. It looks like the paint has been applied too fast without primer. The ribs, incidentally, are incorrect for the GA 177 class. That's an extremely difficult thing to fix. The car also wobbles quite a bit. This might be fixable by tightening one of the bolster screws. The brake wheel and chain on the B end are very well done. The car is equipped with Scale Trains knuckle couplers. The coupler on the B end is low according to the Katy height gauge. On the roof, the car has a molded plastic roof walk. It's pretty thin in cross-section and doesn't look too bad, but it doesn't look as good as a photo-etched part. There's a small glue blob on one of the corners. The hatch detail is really good and the corner grabs are freestanding. The underside of the car has mostly full brake rigging, though some of the plumbing and small details are omitted. There's enough there to look good when the car is rolling down the track. All of the wheels are in gauge according to the NMRA standards gauge. The car weighs 4.3 ounces. The NMRA recommended weight for a car of this length is 4.5 ounces. The Operator brand name is appropriate, I think, for this car. It has a lot of detail for the price. If you're the kind of modeler who cares more about overall effect and operation, then you may be more inclined to like it. On the other hand, if you're like me and want cars to be detailed and accurate, you may find it a disappointment. I get it that Scale Trains is offering a lower-cost version of their rivet counter Airslide hoppers. For me, though, having to add uncoupling levers, hoses, and grab irons makes the car less of a value. I really think most modelers would at least want to add the grab irons, as the car looks very obviously incomplete without them. Since fixing the ends of this car to be accurate would be an extremely involved job, I'm going to take a spike for that. I'm going to take a spike for the poor paint coverage, and I'm also going to take a spike for the coupler height. My final verdict is 7 out of 10 spikes.